What's up, guys? At the Camera Star Show. What a great day! I mean, just to get back to an old friend of mine to a podcast with, and we know him before, and you know him beforehand. Anson Maxey, thanks for joining the show. I appreciate your your time and everything.
It's good to see you again, Cameron. It's been a while. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Well, high school football is here and getting close. Like what, under like 30 minutes, 30 days away. You got college coming up soon. NFL not far behind there either. So in high school, what's your team looking into in the different districts that you think is going to make a run in the high school football in the state championship game?
Wow. It's you want to say that it's way too early to start talking about the state championships, but
Right.
when you look at it every year, it always seems to be the same teams coming back year after year. You have your Carthages, your La Vegas, you have of course North Shore, you have Duncanville. We've seen that matchup 6 of the last 7 years. Aledo, of course, they didn't get there last year. So when it comes to deep playoff runs and state championship game appearances, it always tends to be the same guy. So I don't always ask the question of who's going to get there. I ask the question of who can dethrone these powerhouses and get to a state championship and have the opportunity to do it again, maybe start a new tradition, maybe give us some new faces and new teams to see in Arlington this coming year. And that's always exciting. And Cameron, this is a realignment year, and that's always even more exciting. Teams move up, teams move down, so you'd like to see how they do. You'd like to see how some of these districts pan out, especially with the new alignments, especially from 5A down. Now, 5A always has a bunch of changes, a lot of movement in 5A, so that's always a classification that you want to pay close attention to on a new realignment year. So that's what I'm excited to see this year. But mostly, I'm just excited that we're 5 weeks away from kicking off high school football. August 28th, we go on that Thursday night. Of course, the first Friday night, the day after. I'll be in studio again, hosting my scoreboard show as always. But we're starting to think about it, starting to talk about it. We're starting to see those countdowns all over social media. It's almost time for football to be back, and I'm excited.
Yes, and a lot of different head coaching jobs has changed during college and everything. Do you think these, during this year during football season, it's kind of like different colleges to different coaches that changes, like Lane Kiffin and all these others that went to different colleges after they brought their colleges to a playoff. Is there always been a change in games about this, or just about the money situation?
Well, as Nick Saban went before Congress, and he's been a big figure in addressing the NIL issues, the money issues of college football. And what I like about Coach Saban, he's old school, and he's not afraid to say it. And that's what we needed, was somebody that's afraid to say it. College football is just not pure, and it hasn't been for a long time. NIL has gotten way out of hand, and it's all about money. It's not about building a program. It's not about getting an education. All the morals and all the values of school education have just they're now completely ignored. Kids are trying to forego their senior season and demanding millions of dollars from colleges. And what do they learn from that? And all of them think they're going to be in the NFL, and they're not. I don't even want to talk about those percentages, but I think college football needs a major overhaul. And until that happens, you're going to have these coaching carousels, because you still have coaches that don't understand how to make it in the NIL. And I don't have an issue with that, because they're old school coaches that believe in building a program. They believe in commitments. But until we see change in how it's done, and people stop, being greedy and wanting the money, which I don't know how that's going to happen, college football is always going to be just it's a joke. I have a hard time staying with college football just because of what it's become. So, there's all that. The transfer portal needs an overhaul. NIL needs an overhaul or to be abolished. So many things need to be changed about college football, and maybe we'll have some more consistency with players and with coaches. But I don't know how and when they're going to do it, because I just don't see how the money suits are going to give up the money. I just don't see it.
Right. Well, to me, you think Patrick Mahomes might be ready for the first week one of the season due to his leg injury, or you think he needs to be away for a little while and let Justin Fields take over, or you think he's more prepared he is now?
Uh, Hit me again without Cameron. Couldn't hear. Forgive me. I'm
All right.
traveling. I have a hard time hearing.
Oh, that's
Try one
right.
more time. Sorry, folks.
Oh, no, you're fine. You think Patrick Mahomes is ready for week one? If he's not, you think Justin Fields might take over his spot for the upcoming season for NFL?
You got to try one more time. You're talking about somebody, and I can't hear the name you're trying to talk to.
All right, Patrick
We'll figure it
Mahomes.
out.
Uh,
Who?
is he ready for the week one? Is he ready
Oh,
for week one?
Mahomes. Okay, wow. Sorry
Yes,
about that,
yes.
folks. I saw yesterday. Now, I'm a Chiefs fan. Those that know me know I'm a huge Chiefs fan. Now, not a bandwagon fan. I've been on 1993, I think was my first year that I jumped on the Chiefs bandwagon. And I went through those painful years of the playoff losses. But I saw yesterday that Patrick Mahomes is about to be cleared and will be ready for week one. And I think that's just crazy and amazing. Coming on 7 months after a torn ACL, are you kidding me? But if anybody can do it, it's going to be Pat Mahomes. But that's a huge relief for the Chiefs if he comes back and if he's as effective as he was before the injury, which he will be. Because without Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs are not the Chiefs. And I still think they're going to have a hard time this year unless they revamp that offensive line. But Mahomes, I think, will be ready. Look at all the reports coming out of Chiefs camp, and as they get ready to report, he's going to be ready, and that's just going to be a miraculous turnaround for him. But that shows his determination.
Um, and I always think about like Patrick Mahomes getting ready for the training camp next week because you never know what's going to happen to every quarterback in NFL. Um, do you think maybe they might get Andy Reid might win his last Super Bowl? Maybe his last time not being a coach no more after this season?
His last Super Bowl?
Yes.
Uh,
If
I don't
Andy
know.
Reid if he wins again, and can he retire right after that?
That's a good question. Watching the Chiefs, you feel like they're losing the handle on what made them successful when they went to the Super Bowl. And it also,
Hmm.
the formula for beating the Chiefs is simple. Get pressure on Patrick Mahomes and take away Travis Kelce. Now, Kelce has lost a step also. I'm really happy Travis Kelce is coming back. We'll see what version we get of him. But he can still play at a high level. But it all comes down to the offensive line and how well the defense plays. Now, the defense has carried them the last 2 seasons. But if they come out with an offensive line and can run the ball effectively, I think they can make another run at it. I still think Andy Reid's he's the best coach in the game right now, at least one of them. But he's got to continue to rebuild. I try to compare him to Bill Belichick and Tom Brady in that era of the Patriots. They kept rebuilding and they knew how to do it. If Andy Reid and the Chiefs can find a way to do that and find that formula to bring in key players in those non-mentionable positions, the offensive line, get another tight end to complement Travis Kelce, and the receivers continue to be strong. Keep Rashee Rice out of jail. I think you have a chance to be successful. Coach Spagnuolo is coming back as defensive coordinator again. He's the best in the game. The defense, I think, is going to be ready. And a defense can win you a Super Bowl. Just ask the Baltimore Ravens in the early 2000s.
Were you surprised Miles Garrett was going to the Rams when he did so well for the Cleveland Browns, or were you not surprised at all?
I could not be happier for Miles Garrett. I think it's a year too late, a year later than it should have been. Listen, Cleveland, there are certainties in life. Death, taxes, the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. The Browns will always be the Browns. They will always find themselves no matter what. And Miles Garrett, I'm an Aggie fan. I watched him in college. I followed his NFL career. He is an unbelievable beast of a player that can win somebody a Super Bowl. Look what Aaron Donald did for the Rams against the Bengals a few years ago. You got a wide open receiver on the last drive, and Aaron Donald sacks Joe Burrow, wins a Super Bowl.
Hmm.
That's the type of impact player Myles Garrett is, and that's why you go get him. And kudos to the Rams. Speaking of teams that keep rebuilding, they just keep making moves to bring in key players. They want to be competitive. They're not looking to just get to the playoffs. They're looking to compete for the Super Bowl, and they came very close last year. They know they have to beat the Seahawks, so kudos to them for going out and getting Myles Garrett. But I couldn't be happier for the guy. I mean, that's a great place for him to land. The Rams are going to be a very difficult team to beat in the NFC this year. They're automatically a Super Bowl contender, even more so with Myles Garrett. So, yeah, I'm happy as heck for him.
Okay, so now this is my opinion. I don't know if it's your opinion or mine, but who do you think is the best three defenses out of this whole charade of players with the different organizations? Is it Houston? Is it the Rams? Or is it the Seattle?
Well, I think Seattle is still they're going to be back in another. They're going to be a team to beat. They're the defending champions, and they've made some great moves during the offseason. But quite honestly, just because of Myles Garrett, I think that puts the Rams in contention. I think they're going to be the best defense in the NFL. But man, the Texans, they're going to be good as well over in the AFC. And I think the Texans they're going to be called a sleeper team. Folks just don't believe in them yet, and I don't understand why. You know, I was in Houston working for the Texans radio network when wow, I'm blanking on the name. I'm tired, obviously. The head coach for the Texans when he was a rookie, drafted out of Alabama. He was a great player, had a great football mind. I love him as the coach. He's got a great culture down there, and I think the Texans could be a surprise team they'll get to the playoffs, and they'll be a very, very tough out when they get there because of the way their defense plays. They need to make some changes on offense, make some improvements on offense. I think scheming wise more than personnel wise. But the Texans are a team I like to follow and kind of root for. I'd love for them to get into a conference championship game and maybe see that next level of the playoffs. This might be the year that they can do that. They came close last year.
Right. So my question is to you and the NFC East, or not the NFC, excuse me, the AFC East. Who do you think will be in that? Who's going to win that division? Is it going to be the Bills? Is it going to be the Patriots? Or is it? What are you thinking? Your prediction going to the season? Who thinks got the who's going to have that title going to either a better for the home for a home game with those with either the Bills or the Patriots, whoever that is on the East.
Well, I tell you, I'm going to give an answer that I like to give a lot. I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to watching it because I'm a huge fan of Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen's story. I love how he plays. I love how he competes. And he's just a great guy. He's great for the Buffalo community. He's great for the team. So I would love to see him get an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. Now the problem with that is they've had a magical run and they've had their opportunities. They've made it to the conference championship game a few times, couldn't push through. But the Patriots, despite his off the field issues, I'm a huge fan of Mike Vrabel. I loved him as a player. I love him as a coach. His players love to play for him. And
Okay. So my question is, Anson, I know you've been watching. I know you understand your football. Do you? I think we lost Anson there, guys. I'm sorry. I think we lost the record here, but let me see again back here. I think I lost him. Did we? Hang on a second. I think I lost him. Oh no. Let's see. Okay, guys. I think we lost Anson right now. I think we lost him at the end. Yeah. Okay. So we lost him. He'll probably jump on back in. So right now we're going to talk about him with he's going to go with the Rams to the NFC West. I know he's going to pick part of the Rams, try to be a win to beat the 49ers and people that's 49er fans. But I know that's one thing in mind. I think is going to happen. Actually, let's take a little break here and see if we can answer him right back here, guys. So let's take a little break. Well, welcome back a little bit. It's just I think we lost Anson in that I think misconnection there. Actually, well, he was going to talk about lots of things about the of every game. Talking about there and we didn't get a chance to talk about the Rams, and we didn't get a chance there. I think he might go with the Rams to win the NFL and the NFC West. And I know he's going to pick that, but we know his position would be. So we're going to talk about more later on. We're getting back on. That'll be probably next week, and we'll get with him every Wednesday we can or Thursday at this time. So guys, thank you for listening. Sorry about Anson lost connection with us, but we will talk about more about football coming up next week. Guys, take care. God bless y'all. Have a wonderful weekend.